Welcome to Real Estate Done Rightish, Happy-ish Hour Edition, your favorite podcast for realtors by realtors. I'm Jen.
And I'm Annalie. And for a combined 30 years, we've been working in this industry just trying to figure it out. And by figuring it out,
we mean we've only cried in our cars twice this week.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! That's our actual kind of tagline.
Yeah.
And if you're looking on YouTube, you can see it up on our wall. And when we first came across that little tagline, we laughed out loud because there was some truth to it.
Sometimes it's true. Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing these episodes maybe once a week, we think. Yeah?
I think so.
Why are we doing them?
For fun.
Okay, it's launch day, first of all. We're recording this on launch day.
May 1st.
I brought a bottle of Prosecco because I felt like we should say cheers.
Love it.
Can you open it for us?
Do you not know how?
No, I'm just going to be a princess.
Oh, okay. Yes, I can. I know how to do it.
Do you not know? She just defaults. Do you not know how?
My mom always makes me open champagne.
Oh, really?
Because she does. It's hard for her. So I think maybe I defaulted to that because of that.
Oh,
I
gotcha. You didn't really doubt my ability as much
I
as...
believe you can break into a bottle of booze.
Yeah, because it's fun and because this is all the other episodes that we're doing are really mostly content-based with obviously a little bit of silly. But this is real talk. I'm ready for it. Ooh!
Ow, that kind of hurt.
Are you okay?
Yeah, but that was a pop.
So thank you for taking that hit for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now I know why you want me to do it.
Yeah, see?
This is our weekly check-in.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about real life, real estate.
Can you hear those bubbles? Listen, pour it so they can hear the bubbles, Annie. Listen. Do you think the mic's picking that up?
Probably not. It's probably going to be really boring, but that's okay.
All right. What were you saying? Why did you give me a half pour?
Sorry.
And you gave yourself double the amount as me.
I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty. Thank you so much.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
we did
shower.
it. We launched a podcast.
We did. It's so fun.
Oh my gosh, we did it. It wasn't that, it was a lot of work, but it wasn't that much work. It was mostly fun. All right, tell me about your week, Annie.
It's been busy. Spring market is springing in Minnesota. And yeah, I feel like I'm kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Today I signed a listing. It's going to market tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
I did a walkthrough on a new listing.
That wasn't like a first-time appointment today. It wasn't
no.
like you met them today and they're going to market. I was like, what?
No. This was like a final. We just signed and
Yeah.
we did paperwork and picked a price and all of that fun stuff. I walked through a property that's going to be coming to market soon, and yeah, a lot of stuff going
You
on.
told me, was it yesterday? You said, I had never heard of this. I don't know how I've never heard of this. When we were talking about the prompt to have people write in the craziest thing they've had a client do, and you're like, I was like, what are you doing? And you said, I'm just leaving so-and-so's house. They asked me to bury a statue. And I was like, well, we're telling that story. And you're like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So then I asked the front desk here and they were like, oh no, you've never heard of that? I'm like, I thought sage was weird. I thought people would think saging a house was weird.
Oh, no.
Which is what I want to do. But then I heard the statue thing. I'm like, oh, they said it's not as big of a deal in Minnesota as it is in other states. I don't know.
I think it's Catholic.
Oh, okay.
More.
Tell me more about it. What do you know about it?
I believe it's St. Joseph.
Okay.
That you can order him on Amazon.
So it's a little ceramic statue?
It's 3 inches tall. They're resin, plastic. But it's
plastic.
of the saint.
You buy a piece of plastic and put it in the earth.
Yep. And you bury him upside down.
Okay.
I think in the front yard that's where I put him. So I hope that's right.
When you buy the house or sell the house?
When you're going to sell the house.
Okay.
And it's supposed to help the house sell and get you all the things you want.
Oh, it's
and then it comes with a little prayer card. And you say a little prayer. The seller does.
The seller says the prayer.
Yeah.
Does the seller usually bury the gnome?
Yeah, but she forgot and she flew home to California.
Oh my gosh.
And so she called me and said,
Saint Michael?
Joseph, I believe.
We don't know.
No, I think it's Joseph. I'm pretty sure it's Joseph. I'm not positive. This is my first time ever doing it.
Had you heard of it before this?
Yes. I've
Okay.
had multiple clients be like, I'm doing this. Is that weird? And I say, no, do whatever you want. That sounds great.
Cool. Have you ever saged a home?
I had clients that hired I don't know if they had a priest come that saged and
The priest staged.
and blessed the home and cleared out any bad energy all at the same time. It was like a threefer. Yeah.
Three for. Do you know? Okay, now I'm imagining the Catholic Church they have the incense coming out of
yeah.
I wonder what's in that.
I don't know.
Like, because I'm like, I'm not either, but I'm wondering, I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're burning. They're burning something in there because there's smoke coming from it. I was wondering if it's sage. Like, I always just thought sage was kind of like a woo thing that people did. But then I'm like,
I think it's a little more mainstream than you think it is.
Oh, good to know. I'm not as weird as I thought.
No. And I can't remember why this client was very like adamant that this house needed to be blessed. And I can't remember why. I don't know if there was like a weird feeling or.
Have you ever had experiences in houses that are like ghost stories?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Have you?
No, but my mom and dad, when they were really young, have I told you these stories? Should we tell these stories on here?
I don't know. Is it scary?
It's not that scary, but they're like well, it's kind of scary. Yeah. They're like ghost stories. Anyways.
Was it a nice ghost though?
No.
Oh.
No, maybe I won't tell them. But anyways, and these are just like secondhand, and I remember being told these stories. I don't know why they were telling me actual ghost stories when I was like 8 years old. But they were kind of scary.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But was it from a different house, not the one you were living in?
No. Like out in Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah. But it was part of their like, we have these wild stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, it made me think about, are we required to disclose that? Like if you had a seller that says, I have ghosts that live in my house.
There is a specific list of things in Minnesota you are not required to disclose. And I believe that is one that you are not required to disclose because it's not really provable.
Yeah. Like, are there material facts? But if there was like, let's just say like blood handprints on the wall from the ghosts.
I think you'd probably have to disclose that.
May or may not have been part of the stories I was told growing up.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh dang, that's scary.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably have to disclose that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But wait, do you want to tell funny stories now? Is that what you're going to do? Are you reaching
I'm just
for
getting
those?
ready.
Okay, you're getting ready.
I don't want you to look at them.
One of the things that I thought might be interesting to talk about is the roller coaster ride that real estate is. Because we had talked about this, I don't know what day that was. It's a blur, kind of the days. I think it was a week ago Monday, so now it's like a week and a half, like 10 days ago. This is my confessional time. It turns out this is turning into a Catholic happy hour. There's a theme here.
Confessional.
No, I think the real part, like we've only cried in our cars twice this week. The real part of that was whatever Monday that was. I think we saw each other on Tuesday. We were recording the next day. And I was like, I literally sat on my couch the whole day and like doom scrolled Indeed.com. It wasn't even social media. I just was like looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And maybe part of that is like I'm a parent and I'm at there's this threshold of like, when does it become irresponsible for me to not get a job? Like, but then also what piece of that is just normal entrepreneurship, business ownership, the roller coaster that real estate is, and just the reality of like self-doubt and just, I don't know. I told you, I'm like, I don't, like a mild depression almost. Like that day was just very depressive feeling.
Yeah. And I felt the same way.
Yeah.
For all different reasons, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because we're both like, can I share what you shared about when you woke up? When you woke up that night and like the thoughts that were running through your mind in the middle of the night?
I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Yeah, you said you woke up kind of out of a dead sleep and the thought that was in your mind was like, you're such a loser.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I don't feel like that. Like,
you don't think that way.
No,
you don't talk that way.
No, yeah.
But just like had those thoughts rolling in your brain.
Yeah, and it's weird because like my business is just getting really busy for the year. I mean, I always joke that every January I think I'm never going to sell a house again.
Yeah.
There's just like a week where I'm expecting it to be busier than it is. And then I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like what?
It finally happened. I'm done.
Yeah, it's like
And
21 years, but you think like this is the year I'm not going to make $1 again.
Yeah, it's really weird. But that week I was just starting to feel like, oh boy, I'm getting busy and this is, like things were rolling. And then, but I just felt bad, which I think, we just talked the economic updates, and I think with everything going on in the world right now, and there's so much volatility and so much uncertainty for a lot of small businesses and for a lot of entrepreneurs. Like you said, I don't think this is a real estate thing. I think this is an entrepreneur thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a small business. I just on the way here saw, I follow a little gift shop in northern Minnesota, and she was like, I just got an email from one of my vendors that they're increasing prices 30% tomorrow.
Oh my God.
And like, I don't know what to, I literally don't know how I'm going to do this. And they're coming out of their slow season because it's a gift shop in northern Minnesota. And she was like, I can't, she's like, I'll figure it out. But I just wish there was a clear path of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't know what to do. This is unheard. Like, this has not ever happened before. So I think a lot of people are just kind of feeling like, ooh.
Yeah.
And her picture on her post was like her crying.
Oh God. Oh no. So we're not alone.
Just us. Some people cry in their cars. Some people cry in their houses.
Some people cry
in
on
their
social
shops.
media.
Some people cry right on social media.
Yeah. It's a really real feeling. And I just had a conversation with somebody else here in the office that was kind of, she's now been in the industry 2 years and just got to the point where she hired a VA. And I was like, I had no doubt when I met her, I'll tell you who it is. I mean, you probably saw her in here, but I was leading a training when she was brand new, and I was talking about just connecting with your people. And she came in every day and like did the quote unquote homework and like had this stuff done. And I was like, she'll take off, she'll go.
Yeah.
And she is super smart. She's tenacious. She's all the things, but even for the people that maybe don't have all the charisma in the world or whatever, this industry really can work for anybody. And this isn't just like but I'm saying that to say, like, I have these moments where I have to coach myself. And I was telling you about it where I'm like, the other day, because people have asked me this question, like, well, if you were coaching you, what would you say? So then I step outside of myself and I look at me, and I literally had totally polished up my resume. I was like, okay, I could make good money. I could go make good money and like work a job, but you're still kind of weighing out. You're weighing out a lot. Anyways, so I'm looking from the outside in at myself, and I'm looking at my resume, and I'm like, if I was looking at somebody else that was me, I would be going, there's no way this isn't going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work.
Yeah.
But then you're inside your own body, and you also realize the days that you're like, I don't feel motivated. I don't feel like, scrounging up another open house this week.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever. But
I think that's life, right?
That's, oh my gosh, so
I
life.
don't think people that go to work 9 to 5 for a big corporation don't feel motivated
No.
every day. But they still get paid.
Well, you're right. They get paid even though they don't feel motivated. When we don't feel motivated and we don't act on it, we're not getting paid.
No.
Yeah, that's a real problem. But I will say, so like, because I re-listened to, now that we launched the episodes today, I think I listened to all of the episodes today because it's just kind of fun to me.
You're half our numbers. You just listen to them over and over and over again.
Wow, we have 12 downloads. And I'm like, I listened to it 6 times today. It's been 12 hours listening to podcasts to boost our numbers.
Probably not worth it.
Probably not the best use of your time. But anyways, one of the episodes we recorded on the front end of my 60 days, like what's my 60 days? And now I think I'm past the 60-day mark. And at the beginning I was like, I could probably set 20 appointments in 60 days. Well, if I was prospecting 8 hours a day, I could probably set 20 appointments, but I wasn't doing that. So I was looking back and realized that I'd held, from an open, are you good?
Yeah. Sorry. I have to close a garage door.
Oh,
you can leave this in. This is
really actually
she's
just staring at her phone, and I thought either somebody died or like something. You have a serious look on your face.
No, I am in charge of opening and closing a garage door via an app of one of my listings right now.
Why?
That's a great question. I don't think the code works. This is how it gets closed, and I'm here, and the client is not. Okay, so I'm in charge of a garage door.
No one died.
I closed it.
Okay, congratulations.
Garage door's closed, everybody.
That's really how it goes.
Yep.
Okay, so I was talking about myself. Just kidding.
So can we talk about me some more?
Okay. to wrap the story up, I was
listening to you.
I know you were. Yeah. So I was looking back. I'm like, what did you accomplish in that period of time? And I thought it might be fun to share.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember. I should go back and count how many open houses I held, but probably around 10. This last weekend, I held 3 open houses. Thank you. I got one from you, which is so kind of you, a beautiful listing. And I didn't feel like anything had come from the open. But I do believe that there's this element of like, do the activities, put the energy out there, put the intention out there. Eventually something comes back to you from somewhere. So left the opens. One woman asked me to give her a flyer to text it to her. I tried to text her and the number came back like I couldn't send. I'm like, oh, either she accidentally wrote the number wrong or she wrote the number wrong, you know?
Who accidentally writes their phone number wrong?
So I'm like, well, shit, that's kind of sucks, you know, whatever. Well, the next day I get a text from her. She's like, I popped through looking for my mom. My mom needs to sell and buy. And my sister, she had mentioned in the open that her sister was thinking of it. Well, last night she also mentioned to me that her and her husband were thinking of selling and buying because they don't like how far out they live. Who knows how many of them will pan out, but that's a potential of 6 transactions from holding an open house this weekend. Yeah. And the reminder of just like how that accumulates over time and you keep the, you know, we've talked about this. We'll continue to talk about like, how do you build a real relationship? So I'm at their house last night and they have this second lot out back and the mom is elderly and she's got this old golf cart and she's like, can I take you out back to show you the lot? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm on this really slow old golf cart putzing around her yard. And like her husband died a few years ago and she had a stroke last year. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get into real estate ever because I loved houses. Mm-hmm. You know, you hear people talk about HGTV and that's all fun and good. And I like design and I like that stuff. And I'm not getting back into sales because I love houses or necessarily even because I love real estate. It is an industry necessarily. I know maybe that's horrible to say, but I really do love people. Yeah. Like, and I like to me, that isn't sales. I said that to somebody once a while ago. I'm like, this isn't sales. To me, it's actually leadership. It's like I'm helping lead and guide somebody through something. And that feels maybe a little cliche and cheesy, but that's what it felt like to me last night. They were like, they need help with a lot of things. And it also was part of the high of this roller coaster to me. I'm like, okay, 10 days ago, I was like, what the hell are you doing, Jennifer? Go get a job. And yesterday was pre-launch day and we had good traction. The email, we thought we had great traction on this podcast. Turns out we have okay traction. And then this potential. So anyways, it's been a kind of wild, but just a good reminder. And if whoever's listening right now, like, you have those days. Yeah. But if you just don't stop, if you just start again, it eventually works.
Yeah. I think in all of those words that you just said, just kidding.
So many. We'll have the transcript. I'll count them. Jen, do you realize that you talk 73% of the time and I only talk? This is going to be our first podcast fight.
Stop talking. No, in all of that, I heard very clearly one thing of like, if you just keep doing the activities, something will come. And a lot of times I will like go flyer in a neighborhood and then I will get like 3 listing appointments in the next 2 days. And it's not from the activity, but it's like, if I'm being stagnant, nothing is coming. If I'm moving and I'm out like moving around and I'm out kind of, I don't know. I always joke, like I'll tell the universe I'm ready for more clients. And I'm just like, okay. But then I have to show up and show the universe I'm ready for more clients too. Because just saying it isn't enough. I have to like move the energy around. Yeah. And that's not woo woo. It's just literally like it works every time. Energy. Where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready. And then I have to like do the activity and then something comes. And it might be, you know, a client from 2 years ago calls me. That, you know, that it's completely unrelated to the activity I'm doing. Is the point.
What's the name of the book called Tools, and then I'm blanking on his name. There's a comedian and there's a documentary around him and his therapist. Have you seen that? I know I've talked about this before. Gosh, I wish we can put the book in the show notes. But anyways, the therapist was saying that he did all these years of therapy, and all of the therapy was around like going back to your childhood and like healing all the things. And he was like, I got so frustrated because I wasn't seeing clients make like progress. And so he found these really practical sort of behavioral tools that he would write down on note cards that would help people move forward. But he talked about that force of forward motion, and that it's exactly what you were just saying. That was like, as soon as you show up to start to move through, I think I did a teaching on this, like the wall that's in front of you that we can call that wall pain, but usually pain, it's like some kind of fear or discomfort or lack of motivation or whatever it is, apathy, depression. As soon as you decide like you're going to move through that wall instead of like bumping into it and going back to your comfort zone, that's the force of forward motion. Then the universe shows up with you and helps you move through that. And so like energetically, what you were just talking about, I'm like, yeah, that I feel like that's really real, that there's this, that like, what's your part? Just put one foot in front of the other and show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to doing a forward-ish.
Forward-ish motion. Sometimes it's to the side.
Sometimes it's tipsy-turvy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for some stories, you think?
Yes.
Okay. So we
asked, people answered. Love it.
Thank God. And if you're listening, I know it's kind of annoying to have to like go to a website and fill out a form. You can email us, you can DM us on Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
We want your questions. We want to make this episode like yours too. Yeah.
These Friday happy hours are going to be hopefully interactive, and where we get to hear your stories and then we can tell our little anecdotes. And but we want it to be more about other people's stuff because we talk all the time.
Yeah, we do. So we asked people, what was the prompt that we asked them?
What's the weirdest thing a client has asked you to do, and did you do it?
Yeah.
So we have two.
Okay.
I don't know if they're just good stories, but I don't know that they're really what a client asked to do.
Okay.
So, well, you'll see.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I can't wait.
So I'm going to keep both of these people anonymous.
Oh, that means it's juicy.
One said, please keep me in the shadows. So, the other one I will disclose, I was a part of.
Oh my God.
This had to be in 2004.
Are you an accomplice?
I was an accomplice.
Crazy?
It wouldn't fly now. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
This was pre-mortgage industry crash.
Oh God.
2004 or 5.
Okay.
I got a call from my boss. Now I am a ops manager at this time. So anybody that knows me from way back then is going to know who this person is, but he's not in the real estate industry at the moment.
He's okay now that he's not licensed. When he gets licensed again, it's going to be a real problem.
No, I don't think this was, I mean, it all worked, so it was fine. But I got a call from him, and he's at a closing, and he said, I need you to go to my house. Do you have access? And I can't remember if I had a key to his house or if there was a key hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
But we had to figure out getting me into the house.
Somebody boosted you through the window.
Yeah. I was definitely alone. And then he said, I need you to go into my bedroom.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay. And he said, and I need you to count out, there's a large stack of cash on my dresser. And I was like, okay. And he said, I need you to count out $14,000.
How the hell did he have that
I
wad
don't
of
know.
cash
I don't
on
know
his
why.
dresser?
There's a lot of questions.
Count out $14,000 out of what he had sitting?
Yes.
How much did he have sitting there?
I don't know.
Could you swim in it? No. Did you throw it on the bed and roll around?
So
in
weird.
It? You're like, this is my one chance to bathe in money.
Just cash.
This is the happiest shower.
Now, he submitted this story, and he says 14. I don't remember it being 14. I remember it being like, I mean, still like 7,000 or something. But
it was thousands.
It was thousands.
It wasn't hundreds.
No. Because
were they $1,000 bills?
Are there $1,000 bills?
I don't know about 100.
No, they were hundreds.
That's a lot of counting.
Yeah, so I counted it out. Now he says 14. Well, I don't know. I'm calling it whatever. Call it 14. And I was like, why do you need $14,000? They were at the closing table. His client had converted funds from a 401k,
Yeah.
but they were stuck because he didn't know that there was a 3-day holding period when you do that. And so they were, and they had shown up in his bank, but the bank puts a 3-day hold on them.
Yeah, and they wouldn't take the hold off? That's weird.
No.
Huh.
No, it's a 401k rule. It has to do with the 401k.
Okay.
It's because you're taking a loan against it. And there's like a 3-day, I think with a lot of loans legally, there's like a 3-day or a time period where you could reverse it.
Okay.
So like you can change your mind.
Yeah.
So there was, it was like a law. He could not access that money. He's at the closing table and doesn't realize it until he's there that it's not going to work, which I don't understand also. He came to closing, didn't make a call earlier, client. Because it was so much money, they wouldn't take like a check or a personal check or anything. And so, but they would take cash.
Wow.
So to cover the client's down payment,
he had you get his bedroom stash.
I got $14,000 out of his bedroom and drove to the closing and like walked in with a stack of hundreds and was like, this feels so weird.
I want to call this man and be like, what did you plan to do with that money? It wasn't like in bars of gold. I'm like, if it was gold, it would almost make more sense to me. Like, why do you have cash in your bedroom? That much cash. Do people do this?
I don't know. I don't. I think there was something.
You don't have $15,000 under your mattress?
I have like $1.
I got a couple of quarters.
I have a jar with coins in it.
I have like a box of coins. They're like not even American coins. I don't even know what they are.
Oh boy. So
that's good. That's a good one. Okay.
So that was kind of just a fun one.
Yeah, that is a fun one.
Should we move on to the second one?
Yep, I'm ready for the second one.
Okay.
Wait, will you fill me up first? I feel like this is going to be a doozy.
I will also say that would never fly now, which is so interesting.
What would they do now? They would just say, sorry, you got to delay closing,
we would have to delay closing.
Which isn't the end of the world.
No. But yeah, there's no way a lender would take, or like a title company would take cash and a lender would allow cash.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's any way that would be legally.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So lending laws, that was the good thing that came out of the 2008 crash was tighter lending laws. Now we don't have to bring cash to closing. Okay. This is the second one. We can bring
gold bars.
That's right.
I feel like I've heard crazy stories like that though, actually, where people I did hear a story about this once where somebody, maybe it was like in a continuing ed class I took or something, where somebody was like, yeah, I'll bring the money cash in a suitcase. And it turns out this person had like a mental illness. So they were just like fabricating in their minds. They were like living in a different reality. And so
did they really have the cash?
No.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
Yeah, it was not real. It was just on a promise. There was no proof of funds in the bank. He was like, no, I just have cash like in a suitcase.
No, sir.
Next to my bedside.
You send a picture. Here's my proof of funds.
It's me on the bed just bathing in dollars.
Money.
Yuck. Rolling in it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Second story.
This is also from during the foreclosure times. Which I will say, I have some things that I saw during those times.
Are you going to tell these stories?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to read this verbatim, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Go.
They say, okay, you said juicy. I can't believe I'm actually telling this story.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Many, many years ago, I got a call from the buyer's agent of a foreclosure house we had listed. Her and I were friends from several previous deals together. She said, can you meet me at the house and come alone?
Okay, wait. She's the one writing as a listing agent. She gets it's a foreclosure that she's listing.
Yep.
She gets an email from a buyer's agent. Can you meet me at the house alone? And can you come in a costume?
No.
Oh, what's next?
No, she said, so she's at the house and she says, can you meet me at the house?
Oh, the buyer's agent is at the house.
Yep.
Can you come alone?
Yep.
Okay, wow.
She says,
I'm
so I
already
did.
weirded out.
So I did, she says. Apparently, during the final walkthrough, which is the last thing you do right before the house closes, she and her male buyer found 2 big, heavy boxes of adult toys left behind in a hidden door in the back of a bedroom closet.
What?
So at the back of the closet, there was actually a door and then more
There
storage.
was like a trap door?
Well, which is so crazy because today I was at a walkthrough of a listing I have coming on the market tomorrow, and he had cleaned out the closet and he showed me there's doors in the back of his closet.
Did he find whips and chains?
No, but they go way into this big extra storage area. So it's so funny that this.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I literally just saw that today.
Okay, wait. So she and her, who is she with? The buyer's agent is with who now?
Her male buyer.
Her male buyer, not her male boyfriend. Her male buyer.
Male buyer.
Okay.
And they found 2 big heavy boxes of adult toys left in this back
Big
back
heavy
closet.
boxes. What's
Yeah.
how many? I don't even know.
It gets better.
Oh God. Okay.
After our shock, she asked me to take one, and she would take one to dispose of.
Oh.
We dragged the boxes to our trunks, so they're big and heavy, in a hurry, and left ASAP. The first dumpster I found, I somehow lifted the box up to throw it in. Needless to say, I am 5 feet tall. This is a female writing in. I'm 5 feet tall, and several items fell on my head in my first attempt. Ew, she writes with lots of E's and W's. I get back to my office, and the agent calls me again.
Oh God.
And she says she has a story to tell me. She has to come to my office to tell me in person.
No way.
I wanted to
Oh
tell
my
her
gosh.
about my dumpster incident too, so we're excited to tell each other our stories. She tells me that after she left the house in a hurry, she got pulled over by the cops.
Oh my gosh. This is not real. Is this real?
is real.
She didn't make this up. This is
I don't
actually
think
real.
so. They told her to step out of the car and asked her, "Do you know why we pulled you over?" She said no. They walked with her to the back of her car.
Oh my gosh.
To the trunk.
Oh my gosh.
And there were a pair of handcuffs, a quote unquote shaky thing on a string. And
On a
in
string?
It must have been like, I don't know. This is what it says. There's a shaky thing on a string.
It's like a cat toy, but different. Oh, it's shaky thing. Yeah, it's like one of those little like.
I don't. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, so handcuffs, shaky thing on a string, and an arm of a plastic doll
What?
hanging out of her trunk and flopping around as she drove.
No way.
And then she says in all caps, "Oh my Lanta," which I think is the cutest phrase ever. "Oh my Lanta, I swear it's true." We both laughed for 10 minutes straight with tears
Oh
rolling
my
down our
gosh.
faces and could not even speak. We were
That's
hysterically
hilarious.
laughing. Everyone in my office wanted to know what was so funny, and we never told anyone. P.S. She did not get a ticket.
Oh my gosh. They never told anyone?
I would tell everyone.
I would tell everyone too. It's like me and my bad date story.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good story. Thank you for, you know who you are. We're keeping you in the shadows, but thank you for submitting that story. That's a juicy one.
Yeah.
What would you do would you sell them? Would you put all the
Gross. Throw them away. What's wrong with you?
I'm just being weird.
Would you sell
Like,
them?
what are the options?
The option is go to the dumpster immediately.
It's the only option.
And I'm sure, like, you wouldn't want to
wouldn't
put it in your own garbage.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what if a neighbor comes by to, like, puts their dog
I
poop
wouldn't
in your
want to
garbage?
touch them.
No.
You don't know what's. Oh. Mm-mm. But I am wondering
Have I told you my
No.
toy, quote unquote, story that
No, what's your toy story?
also during the foreclosure
Shaky thing on a
crisis?
stick? I still want to know what the shaky thing on a stick is.
String.
Oh, on a string. I'm
Yeah.
just making stuff up.
Yeah, now you're just going, I
On
don't
a
know.
string.
I don't know.
She doesn't,
wasn't there.
She
This
doesn't
is
want to.
not my
She
story.
doesn't want to speculate.
Nope.
My mind is like, what? What is even in 2 large, heavy boxes? Well, we just found out a doll,
Yeah.
a life-size doll.
I'm sure there's all kinds of weird stuff.
I know,
We don't really need to go into it.
Oh, okay.
Use your imagination.
I am. That's the point. You're hearing what I'm thinking. Okay. All right. Your story. Tell me your story.
Well, I don't even know if I should tell a story. No,
What?
It's pretty funny.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's also, though, we found something that was of that
Okay,
nature.
tell me.
It was an adult thing.
Do I get to know what the thing is?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So,
Okay.
So this is also during the foreclosure crisis. I'm out with buyer clients. It's a young couple. and we are looking in a condo building that I had sold multiple units in it. I was really familiar with the building, and the building had been being built right when the market crashed. And they finished it, but then like 3 units sold. So there were so many units for sale because I think that it might have gone under and they were all in foreclosure. I'm not even sure.
Okay.
But there were so many units for sale for like 2 or 3 years that they just left all the doors open of the units that were for sale.
So could just like keep it easy breezy in there?
Yeah, because I think that they just were like, we're not going to have 68 lock boxes.
Oh,
so they just like,
I see.
and when you would go in, buyers would want to look at like all the 2-bedroom floor plans.
Wow.
Because it was like
What
new
a
construction.
wild time.
Yeah. It was like it was new construction,
Okay.
but because it was, no one had ever lived in these units.
And then they were like, this one down at the end of the hall is freaky deaky.
No. So you just can't. You're like, get to the point.
I'm so excited to hear this story.
Okay. So we go into a unit and it's a 2-level unit and it's like dusk outside and none of the lights work. And I was like, what is going on?
Like,
All
is
the
this
lights
gonna
were
be
on
a
in
ghost story
no,
or a
no,
sex
no,
story?
no, neither. It's a showing houses story. So but I'm like, oh, this is so weird. I wonder if the breakers are off or like all the lights on the rest of the building were on. So I was like, this is weird. So we're like looking around and now it's, I mean, by the moment it's getting darker where it's like, we can hardly see now because it's like the sun is going down. And my client is like, oh, I found a flashlight on the counter in the kitchen. And I was like, oh, and she's like, it's weird. It has like a cover on the top. Well, it was a light, other light.
A flashlight?
Yeah. You might have to beep that out.
Oh, really?
I don't know what you could say. Anyway, I didn't know what that was. She didn't know what that was. So she took the top off and there's like a weird squishy thing on the top and she's like poking it. She's like, this isn't a flashlight. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. I'm like, I wonder if it's like a weird plumbing thing. I literally was like, that's literally what came out of my mouth. I'm like, this is so weird. It must be like a plumbing, I don't know. Okay.
Oh my God.
Mr. Buyer comes around the corner. He had been down the hall, like looking for lights. He comes around the corner and he can just barely see us. And his girlfriend or wife, I can't remember if they're married or not. It does not matter. We're both like poking this thing and like, what is this? And he's like, oh my gosh, put that down right now. Put it down, put it down, put it down. And then I got it dawned on me what it was. And I just like, I turned into a 12-year-old boy. I started giggling uncontrollably. I backed up I like ran into the other room. It was just like, ah! And just laughing. She's like, what? What's wrong? And I was like, put it down. Just listen to him. Put it down. So she's like, oh my God. And then he tells her what it is.
Oh my gosh.
And we're all like, oh my gosh. So we're like, gross. So she and I are both like, we touched it. Like, oh, we got to wash our hands. So she's like, oh, there's a big thing of hand wash right here next to the sink. She literally goes, it's a big, like a gallon jug with a like the plunger top, like to squirt out. And as she's touching it again, the man says, that's not hand soap. It was a giant thing of lubricant. Like a gallon. I don't even know
you have to be an addict.
Where does a human acquire one of those? I don't even know. Yeah. So now she's got that on her hands and she's like freaking out. She's losing her mind. And we're all
she's
just
got a flashlight in one hand and a lube in her other.
Yeah. It was horrible. Yeah.
That's a really good story.
So then we and all the units are foreclosures, so there's nothing in any of them. Luckily the water was on because it was a condo building. So we washed our hands just with water. She had hand sanitizer in her car. So we went out to her car, hand sanitized, and then we were like, wow. I was like, that's never happened to me before. That was a new one.
Great story.
Yeah, it was.
I don't have any stories like that. I don't think.
During that time, I also remember showing a home that in the basement, there was a room that was just like wrapped in black plastic and had a red light bulb in it.
What?
And we were like, this feels like bad
gosh.
vibes. We didn't know what that was, but we didn't like that. There's some weird stuff. I also had clients during that
Wow, this
during
is
that
so
time.
weird. Wait, can we just talk about the wrapped room first?
No.
Not at all.
Move
You don't
it
want to
on.
speculate at all. Like what happened
I
in
don't
there?
know. I don't know. I think it might have been like they were
Red light
growing
is good
something.
for like meditation. It could have been like their sleepy time room.
No, I don't think so. It was in the basement. It was real weird. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
what you were going to tell another
Oh,
story.
I have clients. They bought this house. They still live there. It's a really nice house. It's a foreclosure.
Yeah.
And it was literally like, I saw it pop on the market. I called them and I was like, can you leave work? We need to go look at this now. And we need to put an offer in now. It was like a West Bloomington executive home for like $280
Okay.
or something. It was like no money to get into
yeah.
this really nice, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
Big house and needed some work, like dated, but like opportunity. So I remember calling them and just being like, can you meet me there in 10 minutes? Like we need to go right now. And we go and then the whole house looks great. And we get to the basement and like all the sheetrock, the bottom of the sheetrock had been removed. So it looked like it had had water damage and like flooded. And then in a bunch of the rooms, there were like rings on the floor.
Rings?
Like,
what do you mean?
Like a water stain or like a mark on the floor.
Like
And
where
they'd
an
removed all
alien
the
ship
flooring.
landed.
Yeah. Yes. Like a crop circle, but on concrete.
Now they know.
Snorted. So
Is it hot in here?
yes, it's really hot. Okay, so there's like hundreds of them.
Crop circles.
And they're lined up, like they're in line.
What?
And I
what
was
do
like,
they look discolored? What do they look like?
it looked like a bucket or something had been sitting there. Like there was like space
just
or
all
whatever.
lined up in rows.
Yeah.
Like a little farm of okay.
Yeah. And I was like, man, this is so weird. I don't know what this is, but something weird happened down here. And it was just, we just kind of like, okay. So they end up writing on the house. And I think we wrote even under because the basement was all torn apart. And I was like, well, you're going to have to put this back together. It's going to be like $50,000, $60,000. It's a huge basement, whatever. So this story is cool there's like 3 different cool places this goes.
I'm already liking it so much.
Okay. We go to the final walkthrough.
Yeah.
The basement has been completely gutted and redone.
What?
The bank did it. Never told us they were doing it. We behaved like it was going to be
So the bank
the way
owned it
is.
at that point.
Yeah, it was a foreclosure.
Okay.
And banks were doing this a lot where they would fix up their properties to a certain level just to try to get a buyer because there were no buyers. There's so few buyers. And so they would
so much inventory. Yeah.
so much inventory. So if something was in great disrepair, they would fix it. So literally we walked down there and I'm like, you guys, the whole basement is brand new. Like all new flooring, all new walls, everything brand new. And we were like losing our minds because they were like, we just got a brand new basement for free. Like this is insane. So that was super cool.
Wow.
The second super cool thing was that I actually, his plan was to propose to her after closing.
Aww.
And so they left and I pretended like I forgot something in the house. We were going to the closing and I like put flowers and champagne and all kinds of stuff in the house. So that was super cute.
So
and then they
sweet.
like FaceTimed me or called me right after. It was like the sweetest thing. So I got to be part of their proposal. And after they moved in, they learned about what the crop circles were on the floor in the basement. The FBI and DEA had raided that house. It was a grow house. Somebody was growing like obscene amounts of marijuana in the basement.
Wow.
And I think because of the moisture, there was like mold on the walls. The circles on the floor were literally from buckets.
Oh
being
my
just
gosh.
rows and rows and rows of buckets. So like the neighbor
Wow.
told them all about it. And they're like, oh yeah, it was wild.
Did it smell weird in there? Mm-mm. Well, I suppose it's not like burned marijuana. It's just like plants.
How do you know what that smells like, Jen?
I don't know. I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a fun one because it was like all kinds of crazy stuff.
That is all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We do. This is like a Wild West kind of industry.
Yeah, it's weird. You run into all kinds of stuff.
I haven't been in it 21 years, but for the few years that I was really, really selling, I feel like my stories are not ones I will tell on this episode because they're just more like wild stories of people closing chapters in their life and like how hard it is and just what you have the privilege to see behind the scenes, it's
Have you
kinda
ever
wild.
walked in on a naked person?
No, you must have.
I have multiple times.
Were they hot?
I don't think I just blacked out. I don't know.
Multiple times?
Yeah.
Are you like showing up early?
No. One of them, there were renters in the property.
What do you do? I just want to know is the look on is it like a
Squeal
classic
and giggle.
I'm sorry. And then you look, I feel like this is straight out of a sitcom. I feel like I've seen a scene like this when you like
Probably,
accidentally see somebody naked and then you look at their parts and then you have a second reaction.
I think I like turned and ran. I literally don't. I do not recall. Well, one of them was weird because there were renters that lived in the property and they were home for the showing.
Yeah.
And I heard something inside when I was like,
oh
getting
my gosh,
the keys
what
out of
did
the
you
lockbox.
hear?
No, just like a TV or something.
Oh.
So I knocked because it didn't say people were going to be there.
This is my worst nightmare.
Well, this was happening a lot during that time too. That was like weird times.
Just over your thing.
What?
You just pulled the paper and you almost lost your whole glass
No,
there.
it's fine. I know what's going on.
You're in control.
I'm in control of the situation. No, so I knocked and I like cracked the door open and said, hello, like realtor.
I'm a realtor.
I'm here to, and like we have a showing, I'm just like calling things out. And there's a girl in the living room and she's like, oh yeah, come in. She's like, sorry, we're here. You've never had people be home.
No. Yeah. For renters, if there's people renting a house in particular. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, oh yeah, come in, whatever.
But I made that face because I was like, okay, you're obviously about to see somebody naked. And the girlfriend just said, oh yeah, come right on in. He's up in the shower.
That's exactly what happened.
What the frick?
No. So I was like, okay, great. I'm like, hey, is it cool if we just kind of go off
Come on in.
look around?
We normally live in a nudist colony.
No. And I said, is it cool if we go in all the bedrooms and everything? Is there anybody else here? And she's like, yeah, you're fine. That's all she said.
What? She wanted you to see him naked.
We opened the bathroom door and he is literally stepping out of the shower as we are opening the door.
No freaking way.
It was insane. And I was like, why? Literally, my buyers and I are like, why did she say, like, go ahead? Like, what? What just happened? Like, what? Why?
So they're behind you. Are you leading the way? Because sometimes I have people lead the way.
I think
I don't want to
opened
be in
the
front
door.
of people.
I think
sometimes.
they were nervous, like because all the doors were shut.
Of course, they're nervous.
And we're like, are there
I'm
people
nervous
here?
too.
Yeah. And then, okay, the other one is really funny. The other one was...
Wait, I just want to pause and just savor the weirdness of this story for a moment.
Wild. And he was just kind of like, oh.
He didn't care.
Not
he
really.
Doesn't care.
I don't think he cared.
How old were these people? They like 18 or are they like 50?
No, probably in the 30s.
Okay. And what was she doing? She was just sitting on the couch like watching cartoons?
Yeah, like hanging out. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. She was just in the living room.
So watching Japanese anime or
No,
something?
I don't know. So specific.
I'm just trying to get a
You
visual.
really want the vibe.
I want to understand why she was like, yeah, it's fine. She was just so preoccupied with whatever she was
Maybe
doing.
she didn't. Maybe she thought he was just like putzing around upstairs. Maybe she didn't know he was in the shower.
Good thing nothing else. Maybe good thing he didn't have his fleshlight out.
Good God.
Okay, story number whatever
17.
This is.
Well, the only other time I saw someone naked, to my recollection at this moment, in real estate.
I was like, wow, it's been a
just-
grim 40-some years.
I'm a
The
never
only
nude.
ever time I saw somebody else naked.
This is where I reveal I'm a never nude. I shower with my clothes on. Have you ever heard of that? That's from a show.
I'm like, there's no way that's a real thing.
I think it's from a sitcom, actually.
I have
a
heard
never
of-
nude.
Oh, it's kind of sad.
Okay. I'm so worried about what's going to come out of your mouth at all times. You really
You're
make
like,
me
you
nervous.
do I
I'm like
have-
leaning against away from you. I'm like, oh God, what is she going to say?
Actually, I just have heard of people that shower with gloves on because they're afraid of that touching their body is going to make them sinful.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. That's all. That's it. It's not
Okay,
that
that
bad,
wasn't-
but it's a little sad to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's, yeah, okay. So, anyway, naked people. It's a really
the
just turned into
only-
a naked person episode. No, so the only
It's a
person I've seen,
Catholic
other
naked
person I've
person
seen naked, it was somebody that worked overnights. and they were sleeping in their bedroom.
Oh gosh.
Man, sleeping face down, just like starfished.
Oh gosh.
Above covers on a bed. And I again, like we didn't know that they were there.
Starfish.
Yeah, like, ow, that hurt my shoulder. Broken. Like full spread, just starfish. But nobody said they were there. Nothing in the showing notes. Nothing. Nobody said someone might be there. Seller works overnight.
This is really. I've had this happen too, where I'm like, wouldn't you put something in the agent showing notes that there could be somebody in the house, like as a listing agent? Wouldn't you?
I'm sure it was
a renter. I would be like, dude.
I'm sure it was like obviously an oversight of like that day.
Yeah, we can't have these oversights anymore.
No, it was bizarre. And again, I was like, I opened the door and was like, oh, I just like slowly
closed it quietly.
They didn't wake up. We just left. We were like, let's just go right now.
Let's go see the size of the closet.
No, we're not. Nobody wanted to look at the closets. It's scary.
It is.
Because also, like, you don't know what if you
right.
woke up and you're standing there. That's not good. Yeah.
No, and he wakes up from like half asleep and he's like, who the
There's
frick
random
is in my
people
room?
in my house. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it was
that's
scary.
Not
I didn't like
good.
it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like that either. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. I'm okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, we chatted. It's fun.
Yeah, we had Prosecco. That was also fun.
Yeah.
We launched our podcast.
That was fun.
Yeah. That's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah. And I feel like we're on the up on the roller coaster, so we should be prepared for the down.
Oh gosh.
No.
When's the crash coming?
No, it'll be good.
It will be
keep,
good.
Keep going. We'll just all summer. We'll just keep doing that tick 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 tick, where you're like waiting to go.
The ride down is actually fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
On a roller coaster.
On a roller coaster
Yeah.
in real life, it's not as fun.
No.
No.
We'll just keep going up.
All right. So next week on Tuesday, so from here on out, we'll be launching our normal, I'm calling them quote unquote normal episodes on Tuesdays.
Yep.
I think what we have slotted to publish is the goals episode.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I like it. Goals are good.
Yeah. I think if you're listening to this episode and then you listen to this next one, this is the confession. It's kind of like, okay, it's like real estate. It's like anything in life. You just get better as you go. And like that episode we recorded early on. And I feel like we meandered a lot in that episode.
Maybe we should re-record it.
I don't know. I think I could go 50-50 on that. Because I kind of feel like this is for the people, they're listening. But like, I feel like there is this piece of when you put things out into the world, there is a reality of like, we just get better as we go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being kind of whatever, but it is true for real estate too. You just refine.
For sure.
And that episode isn't going to be what our 100th episode is going to be.
100%.
So, but I think there's some good stuff in there still.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I'll listen to it.
Except you're scared of what's going to come out of my mouth all the time. You're so
I trust you
nervous.
except for what you're going to say. Because I really never know.
Gosh.
You
Okay,
surprise me a lot.
Do I actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
You say things I would not expect you to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting to
Yeah.
me. I guess I don't really surprise myself.
No. You know
I
yourself.
know myself well enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be Tuesday. Next Friday, I think we'll have another episode. Do we want them to write in on anything next week?
Yeah, I want to hear the weirdest thing you found in a house or saw.
Oh.
Like, what did somebody leave out?
Oh.
Right? Like, I've seen drugs.
Oh.
I've seen money. I've seen guns.
Clearly $14,000.
Well, that wasn't for sale.
That wasn't a house for sale. It was just an everyday
Just a regular house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's the weirdest thing you've seen in a house?
Yeah.
Or if you have some other burning story that you're like, man, you got to
Always.
hear this story, just send it to
Yeah.
us. Our email is in the show notes. We're on Instagram. You can DM us, whatever's, or you can go to our website and submit through the form there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this all?
I think so. think we did it.
What's our sign off? I don't have it memorized yet. I know until next time, but what's before that?
Cheers to doing it right.
No, but before that, it's
I
like,
don't know.
that's all for this week's episode of Real Estate Done Right-ish Happy-ish Hour episode. Until next time.
Cheers to doing it right-ish.
Yep. Will you clink my glass, though?
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers to doing it
Right-ish. We'll try. I'll just do it as fast as it feels. Okay. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general knowledge and informational purposes only and do not constitute professional, legal, or financial advice. As licensed real estate agents in the state of Minnesota, we are not attorneys, financial advisors, or tax professionals, and we cannot provide advice in those areas or in regards to any agency or broker-specific topics in any other state. Any reliance you place on the information provided in this podcast is strictly at your own risk. We strongly encourage you to consult with qualified professionals for specific guidance related to your individual circumstances.
Wow! That was good. All right. Holy you were saying how you doing for a while. Do you want it to be called that? How you doing happy-ish hour? Or do we want just happy-ish hour?
No, just happy-ish hour.
Okay.
I mean, I can say, how you doing?
Okay.
Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish Happy Hour. Happy-ish hour.
You figure it out.
And by, you know what's really funny in that blooper? I sound the exact same in every single one.
I know you do.
It's super.
I know you do.
Like, by figuring it out, I say it exactly the same, and I'm like,
do.
oh, that's wild.
Whoever's in Oklahoma likes us.
A lot? Did they listen 300 times?
No, I can't see how many times they listen.
Oh. Well, I only think they like us if they listen 300 times to 3 episodes.
We do have people that have listened to all 3 episodes, though. Whoever this. Well, you ready to start going on tour together?
The other night.
What? Did you have a dream?
I was manifesting that within a year we would get paid to go travel places together. Ow. I wrote it in my I wrote a list of manifestation things.
God, good.
Because I was doing something.
You're so powerful. You know that, right?
Oh, no. I got to be lower if you're lower.
I need a different chair. Can we get matching?
Let's go chair shopping. No.
Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish, your favorite podcast for realtors
Nope.
by realtors.
No. This is happy-ish hour.
Oh, shit.
I literally typed it out. So
Thank you. Are you ready?